Welcome to Through It All, I've Got You with Mark and Sharanda. We're in season 3, episode 2. Hard to believe that we're in season 3, isn't it, sweetie?
It is. I can't believe it. I was sitting here going back and forth with him about, are we in episode 3? Season 3 already?
Yeah, that'll be in the outtakes. We'll use that for later.
Please don't.
Yeah. Sorry. When you don't have a creative hand in editing, you never know what you're going to get. So
oh my gosh.
you're just going to have to, I'll deal with the fallout later, which may be a good time to talk about this topic. I don't know.
Right. You're going to be in trouble.
Some of the fallout we're going to talk about tonight. And let me just hold your hand on this topic, baby. No, you got to get them. Thank you. It feels weird. I need to be. Put my hand
You're
on
right.
top. Yeah, put my hand on top. So we're going to talk about, we'll see how long we hold hands. We're going to talk about when trouble arises. I don't know if it's is or when trouble arise. What is it?
When trouble arise.
When trouble arise in your marriage, in your dating. We're going to talk a little bit about that tonight. And maybe give you some pointers, things that we've learned firsthand. By no means are we saying we've arrived.
Mm-mm.
By no means are we saying we do everything right. Even in, we know sometimes, what is it? You know to do right, but you don't always do right.
Right.
There's a saying somewhere in that. But we're going to talk a little bit about that. Maybe to help give you some clues, some tips, something you can start. It's not like a light switch that you click and all of a sudden you got it.
Right.
It is what I call incremental growth.
Yep.
You know the old saying what they say about an elephant? How do you eat an elephant?
One bite at a time.
One bite at a time. Any of these topics that we talk about or you talk about or you think about, you don't look to master it right away. You look to get better at it. And hopefully you see growth with whatever that is. How do you feel about this topic, sweetie?
I think it's a good topic, much needed topic. Not afraid to talk about it because troubles are going to arise. And you just want to be prepared. And I don't think you're ever prepared for it, but I guess knowing how to attack it.
There you go. I think about our niece. I'm not gonna say her name, but she when she was younger, she would do something. She was like, "You do it," because it may look crazy if I do it. But what would she do when you were in trouble?
You're in trouble. You're gonna get the beat.
So she had the hand movement and everything with that. So hopefully no one's gonna get the beat when you get in trouble. But let's talk about some of the ways, some strategies. We can give some examples. However you feel led, we'll jump into it that way. You want to start us?
You got it.
This is a common theme where you put it on me.
It's not always common. Sometimes I start.
You do. So I just need to be prepared when you say that. How I would think you would when you think about this subject is it's gonna happen. And so how do you prepare for what is inevitable? You may not be able to prepare for it.
Right.
But you should be able to learn from it regardless. What I would say as a general statement before we dive deep in these 23 years, man, it's 23 years, sweetie.
I know.
23 years of marriage. I've learned and am continually learning how to disagree without being disagreeable. I've had to swallow pills, not literal pills, but figuratively. Come to my wife and tell her, I'm sorry, forgive me, regardless if she does or not. And she's really good at forgiving. But I've had to say I was wrong. And I've had to shrink the time in between that apology, because I've reflected, because I've learned, because I've been there and seen the result of and don't like how we operate when we're not in unison, in a sense. I try to shrink that time as early as possible. Even recently we had a little spat. I wouldn't say recently. I guess recently we had a spat, and I told her, I said, baby, this is what we're not going to do. I said, this is we have to set another baseline. We have to raise, this is what we're not going to do. And as we're in a book club, at church, and it's all really centered around communication. And really, that's the crux of all of this is communication.
Communication.
And the one thing, and then I want you to chime in. The one thing that I said, and did I just lose it? I had it, and then I think I lost it. Oh, the one thing I've gotten so far from this that really resonated to me in this book that we're reading is that we're not enemies. We're actually on the same team.
Right.
We want the best for each other, for our marriage. And when you can have that as the baseline, you realize that even in a disagreement, we're still on the same team. So I'll let you talk a little bit about whatever you feel like.
Yep, agreed. I was going to say the first way to attack it, like when troubles arise, communicate. I know sometimes that's hard to do in that moment. In that moment, you might be, a little hyped up, anxious, or whatever, but communication is actually the key to everything. I'm not going to say that it was always our first to go to, especially for me. It wasn't. I think as you grow, as you grow, you try to do better. And so I've grown a whole lot, I think, in that area, because when troubles would arise, it was, we would discuss whatever. If it got, hyped or whatever, it would just, I was not shut down, but, it was like we wasn't getting anywhere. Marcus is the type person, he's quiet. And so sometimes he has to reflect and take that time to go, like, let me go think about it. But me at that moment, I was like, no, I want to talk about it right then, right now. But you get nowhere when you do that. I think now we're at a much better place when we talk about troubles. We can talk about it, laugh, and not it get, heated, no blows or nothing like that. It's just, it just gets heated and you feel like you're not hearing my side and blah, 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 blah. But I thank God for the growth, especially for me. And this book club has helped because I want to be able to speak to my husband, be able to speak to him with truth and not him gaslight me, not him tell me how I'm feeling, and vice versa, me telling him how he feels. And that's something I've learned to grow. I would go to him like, are you okay? And he would say, yes. I'm like, no, you're not, trying to tell him how he's feeling. And so in that area, I've grown a whole lot, trying to tell him, how he's feeling. So yeah, I can't tell him how he's feeling. So I have to take him at his word. If he said he's good, he's good. And so yeah, communication is definitely the key.
It's the key, and it's learning each other in whatever season you're in. And if you don't know, ask. And then you have to respect the answer. So as you were saying that, it made me think about a few things that are paramount. Is you have to take the person at their word and understand they may not be able to give you the words right then and there. And so it's okay to say, let's just hold right here for a minute. We'll come back, but make sure you go back to whatever that disagreement, whatever that trouble is, so that you can get it resolved and you're not walking with it for a period of time. Try to get to a place that is amicable. And it may take a while. You may not get there, but try to. My key word was try, because it's not always, it doesn't always happen that way.
It doesn't get fixed. Sometimes it doesn't get fixed right then and there.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that it gets fixed, but some things, hopefully they all get to a resolution. But it may take time. It may not be a quick fix, like you said, and it may take some time. And it's okay to leave that there, move on to the thing, but knowing that you're coming back to it. And you talked about gaslighting. That's a term that can be used in a lot of different ways. But essentially, what it is you're trying to turn the situation away from you, and sometimes you're not taking the person's. You're not validating it.
Right.
You're invalidating what they're feeling, which is typically going to cause more wrath, more anger, more tension, more trouble. Whether you understand it or not, it's not for you to understand all the time, but it's for you to accept that your spouse is feeling that way in that moment. Maybe it's not because of you. Maybe there's a root cause somewhere else, but in that moment, you're bearing the brunt of it, and we know how that happens. And you have to be able to deal with that, especially as men. So I can talk to the men. We are responsible. The Bible says we are to love our wives as Christ loved the church. Didn't say that for the wife. That may be hard to hear, but that's in the word. And it's hard to do. I am no way. I try to emulate Christ, but I am not him. But I'm striving to that. And so we're supposed to love her. And in love, there's love, there's understanding. It also tells you to dwell with your wife according to knowledge. Well, what does that mean? It means you got to get to know her. Well, how do you get to know her? By communicating, by talking, by seeing how she reacts in certain situations, and then by trusting how she reacts in certain situations. And it's not for you to change, it's for you to accept, and it's for you to deal with according to knowledge. That's our charge as a man. And it's a heavy weight, but you're equipped.
Yep. I agree. I was going to say, words matter, especially during that moment when you're trying to discuss a situation and you telling that person, oh, you're just sensitive, or you just this, or you just that. That's not the time and place to say those things. And it's good, like you said, it's going to make matters worse than what they already are.
And if you do kind of catch it, try to correct it, because you may say stuff out of pocket, but you got to establish another baseline to where that's not the case. That's growth. It takes time.
It's growth.
But you got to continue to elevate, and then you'll have certain things that you just don't do anymore. Even when the same type of trouble, any kind of trouble arises, you'll be able to come at it a different way. So that's one strategy: is don't gaslight your spouse. Another one you can think through is try to always speak in truth and speak from your perspective. Don't put others, yes, and them. You feel this way. You can't, like you said earlier, you don't tell me how I feel, and use it from your perspective. One of the people in the book club, they're in the profession of dealing with people and families and things like that, and they have a lot of strategies that can work in marriage. Now, you can't just hear something and think you can implement that strategy, but you can take tidbits of it. And one of those is I statements. You talk about how you feel, as opposed to you statements, because that puts the onus on that person. You've got to take your own responsibility and deal with things.
Yeah, I think we do a good job of that, owning what we've done, what we said. So yeah, I think we're good at that.
And if you're not, then that's what you work on. And you can work on it outside of your marriage with your friend group. Hey, do I do this? Is this my pattern? And if you start to hear that that's your pattern and your spouse is saying the same thing, it actually might be your pattern. And you might have to deal with that and confront that. And then you've got to, we talked about it not too long ago. You've got to admit, repent, and then you've got to come back and re-engage. You got to come back and, hey, I know this is where we left it. Let me try to get this thing right. And they will use different verbiage, but it's really you got to own it.
And something we do, like we have friends that will call, like, hey, can we get you guys on a phone call and ask y'all a question, and vice versa. They would do that for us just to make sure, I'm not saying something wrong, or Mark's not doing, saying something, us going back and forth, we're getting nowhere. So we'll get friends involved and they tell us the truth, and vice versa. We would do the same for them. So sometimes hearing other people during that time can help the situation.
That's the importance of your group. And we talked about that on the last episode, is having that circle that you can trust, depend on, go to. You've got to be able to take the advice and use it and implement it. So that's a few things when trouble arises. The other thing is, after maybe you've gotten through the trouble, you've gotten through the situation, go back and dissect it. Hey, let's just take a minute and see how we went wrong, what we did right, what we did wrong. How can we learn from this? What can we establish? It sounds trivial, but that's a part of it. Is we are in this thing together. You and your spouse are in this thing together. And if your desire is to make it work, no one knows the conversations you have. No one knows that you have sat down and really wrote this thing out, whatever it is, to say the next time something happens, it doesn't have to be the exact same situation, but this is A, B, C, this is what we're not going to do. Let's resolve to this. And then this is what we're going to do. And then if you fail at that, try it again. Hey, this is what we said we was going to try to do. All right, my bad. I got heated. Forgive me. Let me reconcile. That was what I was looking for. Let me reconcile with you. And then let's try it again. If you fail again,
keep trying.
Keep trying.
Just keep trying.
But then you got to, I've said it again. I've said it before and I'll say it again. You got to own your part.
Yeah.
And for the men, you've got to own your part. You've got to understand that your wife is emotional. Mm-hmm. You can't always deal with her in the emotion. If she's just emotional, she's not going to hear you. You can give the best rebuttal, the best excuse. You can give the best. But if she's at a level, it don't matter. It don't matter. This is where the Bible also says it is better to be on the roof of the house than to deal with, and I'm paraphrasing, an angry woman or scornful. Get somewhere and sit down. Chill out. Go somewhere. And let that thing pass, and then come back together and talk about it. And it's on you to know that situation and know how to act in it.
I remember one situation. I don't know if you remember, but it was a heated one, and I think our youngest son was still at home. Well, nobody was at home during that time. We was having the discussion, and then our youngest son came in, and I think he can tell something. He's like, "Y'all okay?" We was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "We got to go talk about it." So we ended up getting in a car driving, and I was so angry driving that we went and we stopped in the parking lot. You remember?
No.
You don't remember?
Keep going. Was this while we were here?
No, this is before we moved. But anyway, so we end up sitting in the parking lot to discuss how I was feeling with this situation. I was very adamant about discussing it right then and there because I couldn't let it go another day. Sometimes you have to drive, especially when you have kids in the house. You know, you don't want the kids to hear what you're discussing, especially if you have children in the home.
It's a shame I don't remember this. Now I'm sitting there trying to rack my brain. Where did we go? We go to Food Line or to school?
No, we went up by Concord Mills.
Oh. Yeah, I don't remember.
You don't even remember.
I must have blacked out. I've suppressed it.
I was going to say, I think you suppressed that. I think you really want to suppress that one from your memory.
That was on me.
Yeah, it was on you.
If I can't remember, it didn't happen.
I think he really wants to forget that, y'all. So
yeah,
that's
what. I don't remember. You'll probably tell me off camera what it was.
I will.
Oh, dang. That's a sign too. If you can hear your past, knowing that you've grown from your past. Have I grown from that?
You've grown from it.
All right, thank you. Well, you still got some work to do on some stuff. We'll get you there.
Because you was going to be outside. That's why you grew from it.
I don't want to be outside. I got a warm body in the bed. I'm trying to be in the bed. But yeah, and listen, it happens. We can't always be right. And we may not always be wrong, but we definitely can't always be right. And you have to understand that. And then you got to be able to point out to your spouse too, hey, listen, I don't like it when you do that. Let's just straight up. I don't like that. I don't deal with that. One thing I used to tell her, and this wasn't necessarily in trouble situations, but she would say y'all this, y'all that. And I said, listen, I ain't y'all. I said, I'm me. You need to tell me about me. Don't lump me in with nobody else, whether it's the kids, men, whatever. I said, don't, and you remember that me saying that? I was like, listen,
Yes.
don't y'all me. I said, tell me what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way I know. Because you lump me in, then I'm a part of the group. Yeah. And I didn't want that. I wanted to know what I was doing so that I can improve, whether I agree or disagree. And it's really not about agreeing or disagreeing. If it makes your spouse feel a certain way, have enough love, have enough care, have enough that you want them not to feel that way, to learn to adjust. It ain't because your daddy did it this way, your uncle did it this way. This is your way. This is your marriage. This ain't theirs.
Right.
So you need to do what you need to do to make sure that you all are good. And again, you're not going to always, trouble is always, not always, but it arises, it comes. And how you deal with it head on is the most important part of things. Like I would say, establish a baseline. Let's just, there's certain things we know ain't happening in our home. Like, there's no hands, there's none of that stuff that's in our home that's never happening.
Yeah, we don't curse. We don't fight.
We're not doing any of that stuff. We're not throwing stuff. Those are baselines. But we have raised our voice. We have closed doors. We have walked away. Mm-hmm. We have driven away. Not in the same car sometimes. Like that situation you brought up. And it was necessary in the moment. And that's a part of growth. We still were resolved to love each other, to do all those things. But in that moment, you felt what you felt. It was real. Until you get through that, you're not getting through that.
Right.
You got to tackle it head on sometimes.
You got to tackle it head on.
And what you said about the kids, I agree when if it's, something that they shouldn't hear. But I also think, and I know you weren't saying this, there's healthy disagreements that your children should be able to be a part of and hear and understand how to deal with conflict. And sometimes they won't understand, but it'll click later. So your kids should hear some of the things, some of the disagreements, and how you resolve conflict. So our grandson comes over from time to time. We'll keep him. And we're not even having an issue. We're not having anything. We're just discussing something. And it may be something funny. It may be something that, it's a good discussion. And he equates it to, y'all don't argue. Don't. We were like, we're not even arguing. It could be how many eggs you want. Give me 3. Oh, I only want to give you 2. Okay, well, give me. Don't argue. And I'm like, bro, I was like.
And sometimes he'll ask, "Are you arguing?" And we're like, "No, we're not."
And he's like, "Okay, y'all hug, okay, yeah, okay, we're gonna hug." And then he'll see us kiss. Oh, I want to kiss. So yeah, we'll get. But it's healthy that he sees that. Because you have to learn those conflict resolution skills, and you don't want it to be at a level to where they think conflict is handled in an unhealthy way.
Right.
You want it healthy. Another thing I would say, if you don't know how to resolve conflict with your significant other, and maybe it's just not you don't have it in your toolkit. You've never seen healthy communication and conflict, right? Seek help with it. Find strategies and try to implement them a little at a time. And I say strategies again, sometimes they get thrown out the window. I recognize that. This ain't no perfection. This ain't a therapy. This
person like strategies all my time. Yeah. We having troubles. You talking about some strategies?
He get on my last nerve, blah, blah, blah. But all you have to do, to me, try something different. Know that you're just trying to get it right little by little. And then it'll start to become a pattern, a habit. Remember, they're on your same team. Hopefully, be on the same team. I think that's important.
And I think it depends on the person. I know for me, I don't like conflict. I don't like when troubles arise. I really don't. I have to really pray and talk to myself. Like, Lord, I don't like feeling this way. And so I do want it resolved. I do want it to be over, but it just can't be like, okay, let's squash it. We have to discuss it to get back to that place where we were. So it really depends on the person. Like, do you really want this resolved?
There's some things I used to. Well, like, nah, this on you. I got one.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I got one. Like I was keeping score. Nah, she messed up. Finally, finally, it's not on me. And so I'm like, yeah, we're gonna ride this one out. But at the end of the day, I'm like, man, I don't even like this. I need to. Even if she did it, I'm gonna.
It's not a good feeling.
Yeah, even if she did it and she want to apologize, I just say, you won't even apologize. Like, you know you did it. You won't even apologize. Well, I ain't ready to. And I have to before she does. Sometimes I'm like, dog, when I'm gonna get one first?
And what have I been doing?
I don't know what you've been doing.
Really?
Apologizing. You've been getting it right.
Okay.
You're softer. You've softened your.
I told you I've been praying, and I wanted to better and get better. So yeah.
Yeah, you definitely. You weren't hard. You weren't rah. You were you, and it took time to understand you because I was trying to be me, and I wanted you to act like not me because I don't want you to act like me, but I wanted a version of you that wasn't you. Like, it don't take all that, and that's not true. It takes that for you, and I can't negate that. I wanted to negate that. I didn't like it. I didn't want to be wrong. I didn't want to fuss. I didn't want to fight. And if we did fuss and fight, I wanted to be calm like I'm calm. And you like, nah, this ain't calm. This is what I'm feeling. This is how you gonna feel. And I'm like, I don't want that smoke. And okay, I'm gonna give you back the smoke, and then that don't work. That don't never work. You can't necessarily match the
you can't match the energy. No, someone's got to be.
Yeah, someone. It's all.
It is not always you.
It's not always me.
It's not.
Most of the time, it's no.
No.
Is it even?
It depends. It depends on what it is.
Yes, and then the other thing is, I would say, as we get ready to wind this thing down, I can speak for me. Even when I messed up, I tried to. You would say you need a little bit more humble. Like you need to. You need to be.
Let me say what I would say is like he would act like he didn't do anything wrong. I was like, I don't know how you're supposed to. I guess you're supposed to walk around moping, being sad,
sackcloth.
Yes, but he didn't act like that at all. So I did say that to him. I was like, you need to, be a little more. I don't know.
Humble.
I don't know if it was humble.
No, it was more of a.
You was acting like you didn't do nothing.
Yeah, so you need to act like you did something wrong. Like you need to crawl. You need to.
I needed him to be sad.
Right,
I needed him to come to me, but like, I'm sorry. Every other day, apologize for what he did. No, not really. But I just felt like he wasn't sad enough for me. But y'all, I'm over that. I don't feel that way anymore.
I'm glad, and I didn't. Look, I said I'm sorry. Leave me alone. We good, and we weren't good. So we were good, but we weren't good.
Right.
I mean, it was a. You need to show more remorse. That's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be a little bit more. Try not to be so remorseful, or try to be more remorseful. I'm like, look, I'm just trying to get back to zero. I just need this day to be over with, and that's something, men. We can snap back from things most of the time. Sometimes we hold on to stuff too. We ain't no robots out here. Mm-hmm. She can do something on Monday, and I'm still on it on Thursday. I'm like, you still thinking about that? Yeah, I'm still thinking about that.
He's reversing roles because that used to be me. Now it's me. I'm back like, hey, da, da, da. He pouting somewhere.
Yeah, I do. Not all the time. It's just I'm trying not to keep score. But sometimes, the sports analogy, score, the World Cup's going on. I need to win some things.
I don't even keep score. I don't even know.
That's because you're not in the sports like me.
I am in the sports.
Like me. That's what I said. You're in the sports. But I know the score.
Oh,
so I need to keep up with the score.
You're not supposed to keep score.
No, you're not supposed to keep score. That's not right. I wasn't right. I'm not right in doing that. I'm still at work. I'm still working on some things. I'm
Mm-hmm.
still working on some things. So I can admit that I'm still working on some things. But no, I don't keep score. It's no book or anything like that. It's more of a mental thing.
Okay.
And so I'll erase the things that I've done. Case in point, she brought something up. I don't remember, but I can remember the stuff she did, and I can I can chalk it up. I ain't saying I'm right all the time. I'm just saying this is how I deal with stuff. We hope that you got something out of this. You know, we didn't give a whole lot of specifics on things that we've dealt with, but we've dealt with some things. We've
Mm-hmm.
gone through some things. We've gone through some hurts
Mm-hmm.
that I've caused. She's caused some hurts. We've said some things that we wish we haven't said to each other. And what I am so thankful for is that we've forgiven each other. Truly forgiven. You'll never forget. But if you can forgive and now you can laugh at it, you can say, hey, you remember when? And I'm glad I can see that that's not you. And that's the key. If you can see that that person that was outside of their character, or if it was their character, it's no longer their character, and they're truly changed from that behavior, then you, what else do you want? Because that's growth. You know, we're never going to be where we're going to be until we get there. And so that's the key. I can truly say, I'll let you answer this. You can see a change. I can see a change in you. And you said you were working on those things. And we've told each other, hey, I'm working on this. I'm working
Mm-hmm.
on this. And we were actually working on it, not saying it to appease you so that you
Right.
weren't mad at me anymore. It was something that I was doing because I was concerned about you.
Mm-hmm.
I love you, and I want you to be good. I don't know if that's grammatically correct, but I want you good. And if I'm the cause and I truly love you and I do, then I need to get you okay. And I have to be okay with you being okay. So growth is good.
Growth is excellent.
Any parting thoughts, sweetheart?
Just remember when troubles do arise, communicate. At least try to talk about it. Remember, your spouse is not the enemy. Remember to love one another. Forgive. You might not be able to forgive right away, but definitely forgive.
Well said. If you don't currently follow us, please like, subscribe, and share. You can catch us on all different platforms, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, YouTube. We have clips up and you can listen to the podcast there. We'll continue working on getting more video clips and video up, even though my wife doesn't like that. She has a beautiful smiling face and a laugh that is infectious. We'll continue to work to get better, and we're looking forward to bringing more couples on. So until next time on Through It All with Mark and Sharanda, we'll see you soon.
See you soon.